Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, kings and queens everywhere. This is the man in a black mask, and he's here to share another Derek Chauvin related article with you because trust me, this is Derek Chauvin week, okay? A lot of you are still talking about this, okay? So, yeah, I'm here to read to you this article from Time Magazine, okay? Inmate who stabbed Derek Chauvin 22 times charged with attempted murder. Yes, he was stabbed multiple times 2 weeks ago, Thanksgiving week, okay? And it's still being talked about, okay? And I heard something else. They just brought Derek Chauvin back to the same prison where he almost lost his life. You believe that shit? They didn't do that with Larry Nassar, unfortunately. Well, don't he feel lucky? Anyway, let's get started, shall we? And I'll voice my thoughts later, but first I want to read this stuff to you. Federal prosecutors accused a prison inmate of stabbing Chauvin 22 times and charged the man with attempted murder on Friday, December 1st. The U.S. Justice Department said. Former Minneapolis police officer Chauvin, 47, is serving 2 sentences for murdering George Floyd and violating his civil rights after he was caught on camera in 2020 kneeling on the handcuffed man's neck for more than 9 minutes as Floyd repeated, "I can't breathe." The Office of Minnesota Attorney General previously confirmed to Time that Chauvin was stabbed and seriously injured at FCI Tucson, a medium security federal prison in Arizona, on November 24th. John Turscak, 52, who was identified in prison records as white, I don't understand that shit, stands accused of carrying out the attack. He is currently serving a 30-year sentence for crimes committed as a member of the Mexican Mafia prison gang, the Associated Press reported. Damn, Chauvin was attacked by another white man? I expected this to be a black inmate. Weird, huh? The Justice Department's new complaint alleges that Turscak stabbed another inmate, identified only as DC, which stands for Derek Chauvin, who was convicted of federal crimes in another district approximately 22 times with an improvised knife in the prison's law library around 12:30 p.m. on Thursday, November 23rd. The complaint said that in an interview with FBI agents on November 26th, Turscak denied wanting to kill DC, but said he had been thinking about assaulting him for about a month because he was a quote-unquote high-profile inmate. Turscak said he sought his opportunity to attack on Black Friday, which he viewed as symbolic with the Black Lives Matter racial justice movement and the black hand symbol reportedly associated with the Mexican Mafia criminal organization. The complaint did not elaborate further on Turscak's comments. Now, I read an article before this, and the attacker in question stated that he would have killed Chauvin had the guards not stopped him. Well, you know how it is. There's two sides to every story. In an email to Time on Saturday, the Federal Bureau of Prisons said that while it does not discuss specific security practices, the agency takes seriously the duty to protect the individuals entrusted in our custody, as well as maintain the safety of correctional employees and the community. I doubt it. As part of that obligation, we review safety protocols and implement corrective actions when identified as necessary in those reviews to ensure that our mission of operating safe, secure, and humane facilities is fulfilled. The murder of Floyd, who was black, by Chauvin, who is white, reignited Black Lives Matter and sparked the largest racial justice protests across the country since the Civil Rights Movement. Now, this dates back to people like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. On Friday, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Arizona charged Turscak with attempted murder, assault with intent to commit murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and assault resulting in serious bodily injury. The first two offenses each carry maximum penalties of 20 years in prison. The latter two could lead up to 10 years in prison. So, when combined together, that makes 40 years on top of the 30 he's already serving, which would effectively be a life sentence. Well, of course, he's in Tupac mode, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the world. Like that. You don't believe me? Listen to Tupac. Those of you who've never even heard of Tupac. Okay? I'm not addressing those who have heard of Tupac, but those who haven't, unfortunately. Prison records show Turscak has been transferred to USP Tucson, a high security penitentiary, following the assault on Chauvin. Now, that's where the security got the big guns, you know what I'm saying, the snipers on the roofs and everything else, when it comes to maximum security prisons. Former police officer Chauvin arrived at FCI Tucson on August 22nd from a Minnesota state prison where he was largely held in solitary confinement for his own protection, his attorney wrote in court filings last year. Chauvin has attempted to appeal his conviction, but the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear his appeal on November 20th. Time has reached out to the Justice Department and the Minnesota Attorney General's office for more information. Now, sometime this week or next week, I'm going to read you an article about Derek Chauvin returned to the same prison that he almost lost his life, which is FCI Tucson. Now, I'm sure a lot of you was hoping that they wouldn't bring Chauvin back to that prison, but unfortunately, you were wrong. His case is not like Larry Nassar's. Larry is at another facility, but when he was at FCI, he was attacked there. Okay, it was the second attack in a row for Mr. Nassar. Now, I predict his ass will be killed in prison, just like Mr. Chauvin. Okay. Now, I saw the video back in 2020 with him pressing his knee on George Floyd's neck, and man, was I pissed. I wanted to break that fucking TV so bad. I was so pissed off. I'll tell you. It was like watching Eric Garner all over again. Him screaming, "I can't breathe," as the cop had him in a headlock. You know, the Radio Raheem chokehold, the Michael Stewart chokehold. Each time I think of people like Eric Gardner and George Floyd, I think of Michael Stewart. What do they have in common? They were all choked to death at the hands of police. And each time I watch Do the Right Thing, I think of what happened to those three. I can't watch Do the Right Thing no more without thinking about Michael Stewart and Eric Garner and George Floyd. I mean, let's face it, Do the Right Thing is one of my top 25 favorite films directed by Spike Lee. Now, as Chauvin is concerned, I have no sympathy for the devil. He killed an innocent black man for nothing, okay? Yes, I said it. George Floyd died for nothing because of this one asshole. He knows he's not supposed to press his knee on a handcuffed man's neck during an arrest. If anything, he's supposed to lie on his back, not his neck. Because I saw on TV and in films when the cops arrest certain suspects, you know, they lay on their back, you know what I'm saying, so that, you know, they can't move, so that they can't resist as they're being arrested. Unfortunately for Mr. Chauvin, he crossed the line and decided to kill George Floyd, thinking that he could get away with murder. It was at that moment that he knew he fucked up. Okay? So, come one day this week or next week, I'm going to bring to you the article about Chauvin being returned to that same facility where he's being housed. Okay? No, he shouldn't have been there. He should not have been there. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. And tell me what you think about this entire incident, okay? I am glad to share similar stories like this with you. I want to. You understand? The man in black mask wants to talk with each and every one of you. He feels your pain as much as you feel his. Okay? I'll never stop fighting for what is right. You understand me? I am always against what is wrong. As long as I'm alive, I will always stand up for what is right and what is just and what is fair. And that is justice. I am a true believer of American justice. We have been denied justice for far too long, and that's where the buck stops. You understand? Black lives matter. Peace. And thank you for your service.